The small town of Willow Creek was never the same after the night the children disappeared. It was Halloween, and the streets were filled with costumed trick-or-treaters, their laughter and shouts of excitement echoing through the crisp autumn air. But as the night wore on, a sense of unease settled over the town. At first, it was just a few children who went missing. Their parents thought they must have wandered off with friends or gotten lost in the crowds. But as the hours passed, more and more children vanished until the streets were empty and silent. The townspeople searched frantically, but there was no sign of the missing children. It was as if they had vanished into thin air. As the night wore on, strange things began to happen. Pumpkins on doorsteps began to glow with an eerie light, and the wind picked up, carrying the faint sound of children's laughter. But it wasn't the happy, carefree laughter of earlier that day. This was a cold, mirthless sound, like the mocking taunts of malevolent spirits. People began to whisper about an ancient curse, one that was said to awaken on Halloween night. They spoke of a dark entity, one that fed on the fear and terror of the living. And as the night wore on, the entity grew stronger, its presence palpable in the air. One by one, the townspeople began to disappear, until only one person was left. A young woman, alone and frightened, she wandered the empty streets, searching for any sign of the missing. But there was nothing. Only the pumpkins, glowing with an otherworldly light, and the wind, carrying the sound of children's laughter, seemed to mock her. And then she heard it. A low, menacing chuckle, like the sound of 1,000 Halloweens past and present. The entity had come for her, and she knew she was doomed. The next morning, the town was quiet and still, the pumpkins extinguished, the wind gone. But the legend of the Halloween curse lived on, passed down from generation to generation, a cautionary tale about the horrors that lurked in the shadows, waiting to strike on the one night of the year when the veil between worlds was at its thinnest.
Once upon a time, in a far-off kingdom, there lived a beautiful princess named Sophia. Sophia was kind and gentle, loved by all who knew her. One day, while out for a walk in the palace gardens, Sophia came across a small frog. To her surprise, the frog spoke to her in a deep, croaky voice. "Please, kind princess," said the frog, "I was once a prince, placed under a wicked curse by a sorcerer. Only a kiss from a pure heart can break the curse and return me to my true form." Sophia, feeling sorry for the frog, decided to help. She leaned down and gently kissed the frog on the forehead. Instantly, the frog transformed into a handsome prince. The prince, whose name was Henry, was overjoyed and thanked Sophia for breaking the curse. The two became fast friends and soon fell deeply in love. They spent their days exploring the kingdom together, laughing and dreaming of a bright future. As the days passed, Sophia and Henry realized their love was meant to be. They got married in a grand ceremony, surrounded by friends, family, and even the frog who had brought them together. From that day on, Sophia and Henry lived happily ever after, ruling the kingdom with kindness, wisdom, and a little bit of magic. Once upon a time, in a world far, far away, there was a group of small, yellow creatures known as the Minions. They lived in a bustling city, surrounded by towering skyscrapers and busy streets. But the Minions didn't care about any of that. They had one goal in mind: to find the most perfect, most fantastic, most extraordinary banana in the world. The leader of the Minions, a clever and resourceful little fellow named Kevin, had heard of a legendary banana that grew on a remote island hidden deep in the jungle. Determined to find it, Kevin rallied his troops and set off on an epic adventure. Through treacherous terrain and treacherous foes, the minions marched on, their bright yellow skin and goofy grins a stark contrast to the dangers they faced. But they didn't let that stop them. With their quick wit, clever gadgets, and unwavering teamwork, they overcame every obstacle in their path. Finally, after many days and sleepless nights, the minions reached the island. And there, nestled among the lush green leaves, they found it, the most perfect, most fantastic, most extraordinary banana in the world. The minions cheered and danced, their joy echoing through the jungle. And from that day on, they lived happily ever after, their love for bananas forever satisfied. In the sleepy town of Willow Creek, a mysterious phenomenon occurred. Cats of all breeds and sizes began to vanish at dusk, only to reappear at dawn. Their owners were baffled, but the cats seemed unfazed. Unbeknownst to the humans, the cats were living a secret life. As the sun set, they gathered in an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. The building was transformed into a feline paradise, filled with catnip, scratching posts, and hidden passageways. The cats were summoned by their leader, the enigmatic and regal Queen Lyra. She was a sleek black cat with piercing green eyes, who had lived for centuries and possessed ancient knowledge. Lyra revealed to the gathered cats that their secret life was not just for pleasure, but for a higher purpose. The cats were tasked with maintaining the balance of nature and magic in the world. They were the guardians of the cosmos, ensuring that the forces of light and darkness remained in harmony. Each cat had a unique role, from the mischievous pixies who played tricks on humans to the wise sages who counseled the queen. As the night wore on, the cats dispersed to their assigned tasks. Some prowled the streets, while others ventured into the nearby forest. They worked tirelessly, using their cunning and agility to keep the world in balance. Together, they succeeded in maintaining the harmony of the universe. As the first light of dawn crept over the horizon, the cats returned to their human homes, tired but triumphant. Their secret life remained hidden, but their purrs and cuddles held a newfound significance. One curious cat, a gray tabby named Luna, wandered beyond her assigned territory. She stumbled upon a hidden glade, where a group of rogue cats were plotting to disrupt the balance. Luna knew she had to act fast and rallied her fellow cats to thwart the rogues' plans. For in the shadows, the cats continued to weave their magic, protecting the world and its humans from the unknown. And Queen Lyra watched over them all, her piercing green eyes shining like stars in the night sky.